the class 10 champions. I know that you started your preparation for your board exams you are going to give in 2027. Okay, so this is the first chapter of economics, that is development, and in this video we are going to revise this chapter just in some few minutes. And you might be thinking, ma'am, we not yet started reading the chapter, we're not aware about the chapter entirely. Then you should go and watch the one-shot video I already uploaded for the development chapter and then come back to revise the same chapter with me, because this is the method we are going to follow the entire year. Chapter, complete study, revision, NCERT, making notes, practicing multiple homework questions that I give you in every video. So come on, let's start the chapter that is development. See, the chapter itself starts with the word development, and we know that everyone in the society is working for their growth. When we want to growth more in the society, it eventually comes with development. Like if we talk about the time, it was like around 50 years back. The definition of the word development might be different for that person and it is different for person right now, right? If I talk about the scenario, if we see the development for me might be different, you might be different. Development for you is like you score good marks in class 10. Development for me is I get good salary. So here we start with the word development, which actually comes with growth. What you have to study in this chapter is what is development. Different people have different developmental goals. There are mixed of goals: national development, World Bank report, human development report, and sustainability of development. There might be certain words which are like skyrocket in your mind right now, but by this video everything will be clear. So, bacha, when we talk about development, right? So, what is development? Like building of buildings and village turning into an urban area, the people getting more income. This is what comes actually in our mind. But when we look at the society as a whole, we will see that different people have different developmental goals. Every line which I use today is quite important because questions directly come from there. Like different people have different developmental goal. Let us take the example of a villager, right? A landless labor who is working in some another person's field. What might be development for that person? That he or she earns enough so that she or he can feed the family, buy clothes, live in a good house. That's it. Right? Whenever we talk about prosperous farmers in the same village, what might be the development for that person? That he sends the children to foreign countries to study or any urban town to study. Isn't it? Right? A person who is a big businessman out there in urban city, what might be development for that person? To make the offices of the business, to make a grand luxury house. So development is not same for everyone. It has different developmental goals with different people. Like there is example given in your NCERT, a girl and a boy. For both of them, developmental goals are different. For a girl, freedom is what she needs. One more example about industrialists and villagers. Industrialists want more growth. He wanted to build dam for electricity. In that process, he has to displace many villagers living there. So what happened? That dam building was a development for industrialists but not a development for those villagers, because what may be development for one may not be the development for another one. Get it? So it can be constructive for one, destructive for another. Whenever these type of statement-based question comes in your exams, you have to prove them with the help of example given in your NCERT, and this is where our chapter starts. Okay, but whenever I ask a question to you, bacha, what is development according to you? And I'll give you an example that in your society where you are living, tell me who is the most development. First thing that comes in your mind is whoever is earning the most, because we compare development on the basis of materialistic goals. Who is earning more, who has a good house, who has a good car. But what if in their house they are not happy? What if the person who is working in a company but not happy with the company's like laws or what we can say atmosphere, because he is not getting the freedom, security, etc., etc. So when we talk about developmental goals, it is not at all totally dependent upon income. Rather, it has mix of goals, right? Mix of goals like we want equal treatment, we want freedom, security, respect, and we want no discrimination. That is the thing we require other than income. What I say that income is required, but other than income, there are mixed of goals. Question will come, what are mix of goals for development? Okay, you can read this example entirely and you will clearly understand that if you want to find job in the working sphere, you will not only require income, you will ask for other benefits too, like that company is providing you many medical benefits, leave facilities, working atmosphere or not. What if in a job you are not getting all of these things and getting a lot of income? Will you choose it? No. We sound sometimes that we will choose wherever money is more, but no. When we weigh everything, all of them are important. Okay? Now, we are over with one person individual development. Let's talk about as a big society, because here we are studying economics. We are not going to talk about an individual person. Now we will talk about a nation's development. How to compare different countries. There are times when you heard the word that India is a developing country. Okay, USA is a developed country, or times when you heard this word that Pakistan is an underdeveloped country. How did we title all of them? Pay attention. So we compared countries on the basis of certain criteria. The first one was total income, because this is the first thing that comes in our mind, right? The total income is basically the income of all the residents of a country. The income of all the residents of a country. Now comes the question. Let us compare the population of Japan and India. India had a lot of population. When we calculate the total income of all the residents, it will come more than Japan. Doesn't mean that Japan is less developed than India. Right? So this concept total income was actually a failure. But in maths, what we do when we need to compare the data of two different, what we can say, total amount. So we find the average of that thing. So we opted for average income as the next criteria. What is the average income? Total income upon total population. Total income upon total population, which is also known as per capita income. That means income of per person within the country. So this sounds good, right? Seeing this, World Development Report was published by World Bank. Very important topic of this chapter. Right? What is the name? World Development Report. Published by which organization, bacha? It's World Bank. Right? What was the criteria used by this? Per capita income, that we will compare the countries on the basis of their per capita income, and we did this. According to it, any country, okay, according to this, any country which has the income more than $63,400 will be considered as rich countries. Get it? Any country which have the income less than $2,400 will be considered as low income countries. What about India? So if we talk about India, so India lies neither in poor groups or rich groups. We are somewhere in middle, but in middle also we are at the lower point. So we come in low middle income groups with the income per capita income of $10,030 according to the data of 2013. Get it? Clear? So what was the report? World Development Report published by World Bank. What is the criteria? Per capita income. Classified countries into rich, poor or middle income group. Done? Clear? Now comes the point. Is it accurate? Is it worthy enough to compare the countries? No, actually not. Why? Let me tell you with the help of this example. So this is table 1.2 given in your NCERT, comparison of two countries. Let's say there is a country A, there is a country B. Okay, if we see the country A, there are 5 citizens residing here with different incomes. right? In country B, there are 5 citizens with different incomes. I'm doing it quick because it is revision session. So when you will find that it is the total of 50,000 in both the countries. In country A also the total income is 50,000. In country B also the total income is 50,000. When we divide it by 5, the average will be 10,000 for both the countries. 10,000 for both the countries. Now comes the point, bacha. Do you think that, like, if we see country A, every citizen around there are somewhere earning around 10,000. So the data that is per capita income lies accurate for here, but does not lies for country B, because here is a person earning 500, 500, 500. Only a single person earning 48,000. Do you think that this criteria is very accurate to compare the countries? According to this, it seems like country B is earning equals to country A and everyone is earning 10,000, but that's not true. So here comes the point, averages are used for comparisons. But one big loophole that average have is not, hiding disparities. They hide the differences, the disparities. And this is very much pretty clear by this picture that is given in NCERT. Now what? So we failed here. So what to do? Let's compare more and understand about what we are lacking in. So we did what? We compared the states of one country, right? And understood that income is not the single criteria to compare countries. How? Let's see. So this is 3 states of India. These are 3 states of India: Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. First, we compared the per capita income of these states, according to which Haryana has a per capita income of 2,64,729, Kerala with 2,34,405, Bihar with 47,000. According to this, the state that earns the most is Haryana and least is Bihar. So according to per capita income, the criteria, the most developed might be Haryana, but that's not true, will be clear by this table. Because here we are seeing, or we are comparing with other parameters. The first one is infant mortality rate. But do you know what is infant mortality rate? Here infant stands for a child who is less than 1 year. That means the age is somewhere between 0 to 1 year. Mortality is death. So basically, infant mortality rate is number of children that die before the age of 1 year on the proportion of 1,000 child. Right? So here in Haryana, on 1,000 child born, live birth born, 28 are dying. However, in Kerala, it's 6 in number. Bihar, it's 27, better than Haryana. So according to this, Kerala is doing good. Right? Okay, let's see more things. And in the more things, we have literacy rate. What's literacy rate? The number of, proportion of people who are literate in the age group of 7 and above. So if we see, the maximum literate rate is of Kerala, that's 94%. Again, Haryana is lacking. Now we have one more thing, that's net attendance ratio. That means the total number of children that go to study. We just took the age group of 15 to 7 years who are attending school in percentage. See, Haryana 73%, Kerala 94% and in Bihar that's 69%, which clearly indicates that. Right? Which clearly indicates that yes, Haryana earned the most. Haryana had the high per capita income but is not working good in 2 other sectors, that is education as well as health. So if we compare Haryana and Kerala on the basis of income, who might be more developed by Haryana? But is it true? No. Who's more developed? Kerala, because they are doing good in education as well as health. Hence, it is very, very much proved that income is not the single criteria to compare countries or states. Rather, we have more criteria. So, according to this, we concluded that money in your pocket cannot buy all the services that you need to live well. And this is very, very much explained to us by Kala, because why they are more developed, like why they have better education and healthcare in spite they are not earning more. Because the government there or the people out there focused more on other factors like education as well as health, which I am pretty sure eventually they will earn more than Haryana. Right? So they focused on which type of facilities, public facilities, the basic facilities which government need to provide to the citizens. Seeing that, Human Development Report was published. Okay, seeing all this, what was published, bacha? Human Development Report that was published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. It is a group of United Nations, right? Now the criteria is quite changed from the World Development Report. They said that we will compare countries on the level of education, on the level of health status, and per capita income too. Okay. For this, they prepared an index that is known as HDI, Human Development Index, basically ranking. Like you guys are ranked according to your marks. So ranking, Human Development Index, in which total 193 countries were there. And do you know what's crazy? See the rank of India. It's 134 according to 21-22 data. Okay. Now, pay attention. What we have to see is, sometimes question comes, write the difference between World Development Report and Human Development Report. So you can put up the points very nicely. In one shot, I explained that. Now, the conclusion here, you can understand very nicely. We will compare the data of HDI too. So here is the list of some countries like Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh, whose HDI ranking is shared with us. If we look at the ranking of India, it's 134. However, what is to be noticed here is ranking of Sri Lanka, the country that was fighting civil war for years, right, has a better ranking than India. The question is why? Okay, then we have Bangladesh, even better ranking than us, a country which is liberated because of us. So that's very clear. We have a population burden and we are unable to cope up with the education and health facilities which they are doing. One more thing that you need to focus here is life expectancy at birth of India. Okay. Rest, the definition of per capita income, life expectancy, that means longevity of life, how much long you are living, and mean year of schooling is here. You have to learn them and write in your exams. So what are the criteria the HDI work on? Gross national income, that's per capita income, life expectancy at birth, that means health, mean year of schooling, that means education. So these are the three criteria. Done? Very good. Now comes the very, very last topic of this chapter. But before that, there is a box given in NCERT which talks about body mass index, right? Body mass index is basically we have to divide the weight in kg. The person's weight, that too in kg, okay, by the height of that person in meters, okay, this is the square. So basically what happens when we go to gym or when we go to dietitian, etc., the calculation method, okay, to classify a person into healthy person, obese person, not healthy person, undernutrition person is to find body mass index. Like we are comparing countries, this is how we compare human body. Okay, so the first thing is, if a person's body mass index is less than 18.5 kg meter square, the person is considered to be underweight. Also find your body mass index right now. Okay, if the person weight lies somewhere between 18.5 to 24.9 kg per meter square, then it's normal weight. If it's between 25 to 29.9 kg per meter square, overweight, or if it is more than 30, right? Kg per meter square, then it's obese person. Okay, question is, ma'am, does this question comes in exams? Yes, can come in MCQ format. Now, last topic, sustainability of development. By what is sustainability? To use the resources in a manner that it remains for the future world, for our future generation. Beta, why are we studying this topic here? Because with the development comes the exhaustion of natural resources, which we are doing a lot. Right? Hence, the question here will be, what do you understand by sustainability of development? Paragraph is written in your book. Learn it, write it in your words, because this is the easiest part of the chapter. And I have a trust that you are going to do that. Okay, read both these examples, which clearly defines how groundwater level is declining and will affect our future generation. Next is about exhaustion of natural resource. If we use the fuel in a manner we are doing right now, it will not last so long. And recently we are facing that issue of resources, etc. Okay. One most important line from the chapter, what are the consequences of environmental degradation? And it do not affect the national and the state boundaries. Why I put this line? Because multiple time question is asked from this line that explain the statement. Explain the statement. What you have to do is, bacha, you have to understand that. See, when we use resources a lot, it leads to its exhaustion, environmental degradation. But do you think that these environmental degradation, what we can say, respect the national boundaries? No. If any other country is doing air pollution, it will create global warming, it will create melting of glaciers, and it will eventually affect Indians too. Right? If there are oil spills, the oceans will be affected, and it will be affecting the coastal boundaries of India too. If there is air pollution in Delhi, it will affect the nearby states too. So it do not respect national or state boundaries. Explain that in your words, and this is how we completed development chapter. We revised it thoroughly. I am just giving you a task right now. Go read NCERT and then remember what were my words while teaching this chapter. What is important, what not. Homework question as I gave in one shot too. Here are your homework questions which you are going today, and will be commenting in the video that, ma'am, I did my homework questions. Okay. So this was all about today's 20-minute revision of the chapter development. Do come to study with me for class 9th and class 10th. Here we are going to do everything for class 10. Bacha, tada, bye bye. Meet you soon in the next chapter.